Hey guys, it's Monday, hopefully January 9th. Sorry you don't have a snow day today. That would have been fabulous for all of us. We'll start with our warm-up, looking at the domain of this function. Remember, domain, it's got to do with the denominator. Domain, denominator. Take my denominator, 3x cubed minus 5, set it equal to 0. I need to get x by itself. I'm going to add 5 both sides. I now have 3x cubed equals 5. Divide by 3. And then I've got x cubed is equal to 5/3. Now to undo the cube, I have to take the cube root. So I take the cube root of both sides of the equation. So x is the cube root of 5/3. And remember, because this is a domain, it's going to be a domain restriction, right? This is where I would have a undefined graph. So my domain is all real numbers except where x equals the cube root of 5, whoops, messed it up, thirds. That's a 5. All right, onward. All right, so we're still talking about rational functions. We're talking about finding them on a graph, and we're talking about identifying x-intercepts, y-intercepts, asymptotes, and holes. So this is number 1 on your the bottom of your worksheet from last week, right? Is that what that is? All right, so A is already done, B is already done, C is already done, and D is already done. Okay, now we need to talk about E and F. Now we talk about E and F. So when a factor appears in both the numerator and the denominator, I'm going to get a whole. And looking at B, which is the factored version of this function, do I see where a factor is both in the numerator and in the denominator? I really hope you do, because it's right here and right here, right? So if x plus 3, if x plus 2 is where my whole would be, right? Set that equal to 0, subtract 2, I have a whole at x equals -2, okay? So that's E. There's a whole at x equals -2. And now I'm looking for vertical asymptotes, and it's where the x is equal to the domain restriction. So my vertical asymptotes are going to be right here, right? So F is x equals 3 and -2. All right, my vertical asymptotes are where x is set equal to domain restrictions. These are my domain restrictions. These are my vertical asymptotes. Now these are lines, remember? These are lines. Asymptote is a line. All right, that was number 1. Number 8, yeah, I know we're skipping. We're going to go to number 8. So here we go again. Looking for a whole where the factors in the numerator and the denominator, so it's in the top and the bottom of the function. Do I have any factors in both the top, the numerator, and the denominator, the factor form? I do not. So E, none. There are no holes. All right. And then F, my vertical asymptotes. Still talking about domain restrictions. So where it's x is equal to my domain restriction is -1. There's a vertical asymptote at x equals -1. Okay, these two pieces are pretty simple. All right, it's just doing that A, B, C, and D and getting all this together because we're combining all that stuff we were doing before Christmas with all this new stuff. Give 2 and 3 a shot. Yeah, give them a shot. And we will talk more about them later. We'll talk more later. All right, so here are your quizzes Friday this week, and you're going to turn in all this stuff this week also. All right, we're going to graph 2 through 11. We're going to graph all those. All right, hold on a second. All right, you don't need to do the study work, but if you want something to do, you are welcome to do it. You can actually send me the answers via Gmail, right? You can send them to me. And of course, my email address is this. Because if you go into Google Docs and type the answers and then share, and then once you start typing KASEY, it usually comes up. But if you hit .in, it certainly comes up. Okay, and then you should be able to click share, and then I will be able to see your work if you so desire. Have a great day, folks.